Welcome to Icarus Patchnotes discussion. Let me actually go to this week's Patchnotes. There we go. Usually I do this with Echo, my co-streamer. However, she couldn't be here because she had late end of work today, so I asked Carl to come in and help me out with the Patchnotes discussion. So I'm gonna switch back to Discord so we can start the discussion itself. Yo, and I'm back.
Yo.
So, week 128 for Icarus. This week we have rideable animal cards. And yes, by the looks of it, sit on the back of the buffalo whilst it's pulling the seeding card by the looks of it. And it's also stating it, farming cards are now rideable. We made the farming cards rideable this week after some great feedback from the community on their usefulness.
Interesting.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be easier to steer the buffalo when it's seeding the ground.
You probably have more. I mean, yet again, I haven't played for quite some time, but whilst just thinking about it conceptually, you would need to be in a third person kind of view because, I mean, or you could just sort of just go in a straight line, but it won't be as, immersive. It's,
Well, before you had
farmers don't.
to you had to tell the buffalo who was pulling the seeding cart to follow you.
Yeah, it would be way less precision. Yeah, so it would be like,
Exactly.
randomly. So definitely, I think would be improvement.
Yeah, now you can properly steer it, which is nice.
Yeah.
So, welcome to week 128. Now, after a couple of big weeks of Project Clinic updates, we're returning to our normal cadence and making some changes to the card we recently introduced in Leica, letting you ride them rather than just lead them as they operate. The cards plural, so I'll have to check during subsequent gameplay which cards are actually rideable now. We've also got some more information on the performance work we're currently undertaking, particularly the mined stone deposit loading threads we discussed last week. And finally, we've got news on what to expect next week. Hint, you're going to need a bigger dog bed.
Ooh.
So let's jump in and have a read. A couple of notable improvements. Adding the small dog drinking and eating animation duplicates for montages and adding unique audio for both sizes to differentiate between the small and big dogs.
So small dog being infant and juvenile, or are we talking about alpha
I'm more
versus
thinking
slow?
different types of dogs.
How is it?
Danish
Because I
dog
mean,
versus Chihuahua.
so
Kinda.
would you have? Okay, carry on. Yeah.
Currently we have, I believe, 3 different dogs, but they're all the same size.
Okay, so and those are the wolves, or are these actually just like
Actual,
Labradors or
actual dogs.
so dogs? What are their
Yep.
breeds? Do you know?
Not sure. I'd have to check
Golden
in
Retriever,
game.
Labrador, German Shepherd,
Something to
and
that
probably.
extent, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Those dogs, by the way, they are part of the Animal Companion DLC, and you
Yep.
have to buy them from Space Station, bring them down, and then you can
Do
basically
they have the
decryo
same?
them, and then you have a dog walking around in or around your base.
And they have the same like activities as the wolves in regards to defense.
Yes, you can also learn them to fetch sticks. So you throw a stick and then they fetch it.
But that's only the dogs, not the
The
wolves.
dogs, not the wolves. Doesn't
Okay.
always work. Either I do something wrong or my dogs are stupid. One of the two. They don't
Yeah.
always fetch the sticks, but hey, it's a nice addition.
Cryostasis has side effects.
Yep. And you have also cats, and they actually come and like rub your legs and stuff like cats normally do. Howdy, Mosbo, welcome. But yeah, you have cats and dogs in the animal companion pack. And apparently we're
Yeah,
gonna get some different sizes dogs as well.
yeah. Great Dane
Interesting.
probably, or Newfoundland, or Bull or a Bull Mastiff, or
Well, since we're going to need a bigger dog bed, I'd say we get big dogs as well.
yeah. Well, you know, Jenny's dog is like 68 kilos, so yeah.
Hmm.
So
Hopefully they will be better in attacking things as well. Would be nice.
more HP probably. Might be a bit slower, but yeah.
More
So
HP, more damage. I hope.
yeah, yeah.
Next, updated modifier times on tooltips to show in minutes if is the modifier is still over 120 seconds.
That's useful. That's useful.
Yep.
About time.
So I was actually looking yesterday at some animal food, some
Mm.
special animal food from the like update, and it had a spoil timer which said 3 hours. So once it goes below a certain amount of time, it switches to minutes.
Hmm.
And then when it goes below the 2 minutes, it switches to seconds. So you don't have a very big number where you're like, okay,
Uh,
but it's actually
5,700 seconds like we
e-
had of the
exactly.
buffs.
There's going to be like 2 hours or so, or an hour and a half, like 90 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Added Apex DM meshes as well as many of the blueprints for multiple buildable assets for all tiers. Can't really say much about this, as long as I don't know what kind of materials and stuff. Removed ability to jump while riding mounts that have a cart attached. Does
That
make
point,
sense.
well, yeah, yeah. Well, technically the mount can jump, but the cart will just
Yeah,
like, the cart shouldn't jump along with it. The cart should just be like, flopping about and probably take damage.
and
But yeah, anyway.
especially if you're seeding stuff, you don't want to accidentally jump and then interrupt the seeding.
Well, technically, if a horse jumps while pulling something, it's gonna get a hoof and then it's gonna break. But yeah, anyway.
Fixed issues with building pieces not hiding foliage paired with a slight GPU optimization. Uh, yeah, grass culling around buildables. They have changed the way how it works in order to improve the performance. Uh, on the experimental branch, it did have some issues where it wasn't culling properly, so those issues have been fixed. Also, fixed sticks going to the hotbar instead of the backpack. Oh, cool. So they, if you have a free hotbar slot, sticks no longer go automatically in your hotbar, but go into your backpack. Nice. It's
Yeah.
nice.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's a quality of life improvement.
No, it is, yeah. 'Cause I remember, yeah. It's but you still have the usual, issues between the inventory management to begin with, but yeah, it's all good.
Hey, at least with the medical satchel, which was introduced last week, it's gonna free up quite a few inventory slots again.
What goes into the medical sachet? What goes into
So,
the satchel?
like we had the seed pouch,
Yeah, yeah,
you now also have the medical satchel. And
yeah. And
basically every medical item can go in there, like bandages,
bandages,
pills,
splints.
splints, elixirs, concoctions, all that stuff.
Technically, it would be nice to have like a lunchbox because food also always takes 6 slots, from my opinion, because
Well,
food goes together. Picnic basket, not picnic basket, but something to that effect.
you
But yeah,
can put it in future upvote, like, hey, can we
nah,
get a lunchbox
nah,
as
nah,
well?
nah. That's too many slots at this point. It's like I think it's a bit over complex at that point. I know that inventory is always going to be a thing, and yet again, you've got builds like yourself with the mods and your slots and your armor, plus the freaking, new 4 module slots, Enviro suits. Plus, you can have an insane amount of slots.
Yeah, actually,
But
we were talking about it last week. Saber was in, and we're talking about that, and he was like, "Yeah, maybe we should increase the death loot bag a little bit."
Well,
So
like I said, it's just
I told him like, hey, with 4 module slots for carry modules and all the slot attachments in my armor and stuff, I have like 72 inventory slots. Add to that the hotbar and the modules and the armor and everything. So yeah, 100 might not be enough.
no, but this is the thing. So the reality behind that is you don't want to just carry everything around. You need to obviously be more. Obviously, well, with the Neves, you can move relatively efficiently with over encumberness.
Yep.
But if, for example, you need to go back to basics in the sense that you should not be carrying everything. There should not be 1,000,001 items realistically, or if there was, you would need to have team members, or it's a little bit of a headache
Yeah,
to
but
make sure that you take what you want and
you want
organize
some
what you
bone
need.
with you, some leather, some the basic
I usually
materials.
no, no, I have my
Uh,
bottle row,
and
and that's the way it was.
then you have your food items, at least
Yeah,
3,
yeah,
because you have by default
yeah.
3 stomach
4,
slots
5,
with talents
5 for me.
and attachments. You can up it to 5.
Yeah,
You need to carry medical items. You need to carry your
yeah,
tools. Of course, you're gonna
yeah.
need a lot of inventory slots.
No, you do, and then that's why you have backpacks, and that's you have like
Your
a set build.
ammo and
Yeah, yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I know. But the fact is that look, if you're going to, make more and more of these small bags, which, add this, because you would have a bag for this and a bag for that and a bag for this and a bag for that, you're still, you're still, have. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to add, like, for example, modules to the backpacks where you would attach a little lanyard, which would make it so that, oh, therein goes all the food items. It makes sense from that perspective.
Hmm.
But just yeeting a pocket which just out of the ether accepts more space in
Well,
your in
and
your Enviro suit isn't something that I would, I
just a
mean,
little
realistically,
pouch you
yeah,
attach to your belt.
it could. Could I say no? It could be. Well, not really, but it could be like a little, like what you call those things, the man bags, the what you call it? It's like
Fanny bags, fanny packs.
and not the fanny bag, the one that's actually the nice one. It's the one that's like a nice leather. It's like my little leather.
Hip belt pack thingy.
Yeah, it's
But
shoulder. It goes over your over your shoulder. It's like a postal boy, a postage boy satchel thingy. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a semi laptop
hmm.
bag, but much smaller. But yeah, anyway, it's okay. It makes sense. Okay, my bad.
Don't forget, it still counts towards the weight of your inventory. It's
No,
just
I know,
grouping
I
them
know.
so
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, no, it's
freeing
true.
up inventory slots.
No,
So I like that.
no, it
I like
is,
those
and it's
pouches.
how people. It's how it works. If you needed more space, you build a little thingy and you attach it to another thing, and you put it on your back, and you freaking go for it.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad. It makes sense. Anyway,
Anyway, continuing. This week, rideable farming carts. We're taking the 3 animal farming carts added in the recent like update and making big improvement. So all 3, both the seeding cart and the water cart and the harvesting cart, apparently. Cool. Carts will now be able to be ridden while farming, no longer restricted to only being led. So the hauling cart still you can't still can't ride it. So if you use the cart to haul big loads using your buffalo, you still have to lead it. But for the farming carts, you will be able to ride it. Nice. Now the current mounts usable with carts are buffalo and tusker with an E. And when you now equip the seeding, harvesting or watering cart, it'll apply to the base saddle you ride on. You can also interact with the mount both when riding and when next to it, so you can control whether the device is active or not. Especially important for the watering cart and primarily for the seeding cart. So you don't have to like get off the mount, tell it to stop seeding and then get back on and stuff like that.
that makes
So
sense.
you can toggle it whilst riding it. Now the watering cart will also fill itself up from nearby sources when it interacts with the mount, and the watering process will only activate when it comes into contact with the dirt mount. Cool,
So
so
then that's
no
automatic.
more wasting
Mm.
water. Combine that with last week's change where A dirt mound only uses 100 water instead of 10k or something to that extent. Watering carts have become useful again. The seeding cart now requires both dirt and seeds, keep that in mind, with dirt to create the mounds and seeds to plant. If there are no seeds in inventory, but there is dirt, so if there's no dirt in the inventory of the cart, but there is a dirt mound, does it? Oh no, sorry, no seeds but only dirt, then the cart will create empty dirt mounds. Makes sense. If there are seeds but no dirt, it will only plant when you pass over a empty dirt mound, being it created by the seeding cart or manually created. The harvesting cart will now collect all crops that are harvestable that have been created by a player within a small range of the cart. Bushes and wild flora will not be collected. So no longer running around through the wild with the harvesting cart and have it automatically pick up all the veggies from the ground. The movement speed of the mound being used to pull the cart does have an impact on the speed modifier of the cart. So keep this in mind when using it. You have the talent trees for your mounts nowadays. So you can up the speed, you can level the speed of your mounts. So it will now also increase the speed of the carts.
Oh.
And yeah, looking at the image below, this is nice cornfield. You can now properly create those kind of fields. You can now do proper farming.
Yeah, I mean,
large scale farming.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, crop fields, which you've discovered in the natural environments, was always a nice thing to come across. But yet again, depends on the amount of usage. So I still haven't
Yeah.
seen, personally, obviously, I haven't played in a very long time, but I haven't got, you know, the understanding of when I would, for example, want to use that. It's definitely for the for an open world base, because, but yet again, your in
Well,
your open world, the greenhouse upstairs is more than sufficient to grow any amount of food.
true.
So
But don't forget, if you have a lot of mounts, they eat a lot.
yeah, how many mounts do you still need? I remember what we talked about.
On my main open world, with at least 3 players, say buffalo for each, a horse for each, mower for
I've
each,
I
etc.,
have
etc.
only used the mower.
Couple of spare mounts, and then add to that the tames, which you can use to guard your base, and you can use them to hunt animals and stuff. They're gonna need a lot of food. On the
Yeah, I
other
mean,
hand, the tier 4 food station for them does turn veggies and even spoiled meat and I believe spoiled plants and stuff into omni-food, which is a very good animal food. So that kind of mitigated the need for a lot of food.
mm, like I said, it is what it is. The farming is now there. So just
But yeah,
because I
it
haven't
is it
seen
is
the
nice.
practicality exactly, yeah, so I haven't seen it, so it's fine.
And I've done it a little bit just to test it out, and it was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
Uh,
probably easier to, but yet again, you need to build a cart, you need to have the mount, you need to have the space, you need to have the
true,
seeds.
true.
And at that point in time, how do
But
you get seeds? You had to collect seeds by
but at least you
growing them.
don't need the to create the crop plots no more.
Yeah, for example, and yet again, that was a lot of
Sulfur.
sap, sulfur, no, yeah, sulfur for the,
Sulfur and a lot of wood,
uh,
and nowadays you need
yeah,
dirt for it as well.
yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah, dirt. Okay,
but then
I
again,
haven't
you
seen
use the
dirt.
dirt for the mounts instead of the crop plots now. But crop plots, if you want to line them up, for people with OCD like me,
Yeah,
I want to line them up. So you need
I thought they
to put
snapped.
down floors, only on a floor, not on a
Uh,
foundation and not on the
uh,
ground, only on floors. So you have to put
uh,
down floors and then put the crop plots on top of the floors. Or you just make a field with a seeding card.
Yeah, well, I mean, I never had issues with my one base I built, but yet again, like I said, I don't really play the open world. But
And
let's
also
move
for
on because farming is good.
role playing purposes.
Yeah, no, role playing is really good, but it's just the fact that it's a lot of food, and
True.
if there was like the effect, like you said, you turn that into like an omni food. If there was like a bio composting generator that you would put food into, which would then biomass it to then actually generate electricity or burn it or create
Um,
something, then there would be another reason
Biofuel,
because
I
then it's
believe you can use pot plants with tree sap to make biofuel
yeah,
nowadays as well. So,
yeah,
harvest a
you
ton
could
of
have, yeah.
plants, let it spoil, and then turn it
Mm,
into biofuel. Yeah.
yeah, that's what we did. But yet again, that's waiting for it to spoil. I mean, you could probably just do that, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So, mind rocks and performance improvements time.
So last week we talked about improvements we wish to make, specifically with regards to the state of the mined stone deposits around the map. Now this was something we were aiming to include in last week's patch, but it was pulled out due to some unresolved crashes and issues that came up in testing. So they tried to get it in this week, but further work put into this has uncovered some more issues that still require more time to iron out. I'd rather have them indeed wait and do it proper than having the game crash.
Yeah, usually one bug unravels another, and then that fix unravels another. It's a chain reaction, usually.
I'd
Depends on
rather
how bad it is.
I'd rather play with decreased performance than not being able to play at all because of crashes.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, currently the performance has been there for quite some time, right? That's a known factor. So just postponing the improvements to ensure the same stability is the common sense,
Well,
action.
the option for foliage regrow, undergrowth regrow last week did improve it a bit. Uh, so they wanted to do the same for the mined rocks, cause like you start out with a set map. It's not
Hmm.
procedurally generated, but it's like manually created. So set map, then performance is fine. Now every change you make on the map, cut down a tree, harvest a bush,
Minor
hit
rock.
hit a rock, not only mine, but
Yeah,
even
no, the hit
hitting
it,
it
yeah.
already. It's
Yeah, I
all
know.
changes that that are stored in the prospect file and needed to be loaded
Correct.
in.
Yeah, because it's got
Uh,
different amounts of volume out of what it does when it started. So it sort of registers, and that's why there's a two-hit
exactly.
action. When you
Yeah.
hit the rock the first time, it doesn't actually harvest it. It's on the second hit. So it's like, oh, register that this entity is engaged and will be changing, and then harvesting the amount and saving it and caching it and all that stuff.
Yeah, but
So yeah,
also the default object, as in the start of the map, it's
yeah, it's
an
not loaded.
optimized object. Now, as soon as you
Yeah, but
make
it's not
changes
really
to it,
loaded.
it's no longer the optimized object. It becomes some.
Mm.
This was explained last week, and basically
But they're not tracking it. That's the point.
all changes have to be tracked and loaded in.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Uh,
Before you interacted with it, it's not
yeah,
actually loaded. It's just an entity which is registered on its location.
exactly.
It's just it exists until you've actively engaged it. But
Yeah.
yeah, how they're actually going to fix that is an interesting
So
one.
they were like with the foliage respawn, they were working on a way to have the rocks respawn as well.
Yeah, but that's yeah. So if it's just respawn the rocks to
So
reset
instead
it,
of
uh,
the modified item, it becomes this standard optimized single object again,
yeah,
thus improving your performance and also giving
true.
you more stone around your base back.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, the only time it should sort of is realistically on like despawn distance, it should reset the flags just to, empty or decoupled, but it's obviously not able, it should be storing that previous HP pool or resource pool somewhere, but not loading it. So until you hit it again, and then it will sort of recollect that unique ID for that, stone. It's going to store a little bit of, it's not a lot of data. I mean, you're talking about small amounts of data just for unique entities for each. I mean, you've got 1 million or 2 million or 10 million unique entries per map. That's not a big issue to just have a registry of that and actually just affiliate a resource along with it, whether
Yeah,
it's
but it
zero
has
or
to recalculate, for example, the hitbox.
yeah, no. Yes, but that's pretty much just on its engagement again. There's like an
Yeah,
enable and
and
a
then you travel
disabled
away from
coupling.
your base and then you come back and then it
Yeah.
has to load it in again. And I can see how that decreases your
Oh
performance.
yeah. Because the actual visual aspect of it has to be also in
Like the entire
correspondence to the
object has to
resource.
be
Yeah,
recalculated every time it
yeah,
has
yeah,
to load in.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's a fair point. Unless, yeah, because it's not like just chunks missing, because it's a custom, because you could carve it into a sculpture.
for
So
example, yeah,
it's a custom thing.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it'll be interesting.
So the
Hopefully, I
chain,
don't, yeah,
yeah.
lose that. Yeah.
Uh, that's indeed something we'll have to wait and see how this is gonna work.
Yeah, because that was one of the nice things, being able to hollow out a little hole for yourself, obviously to, hide away from exposure.
Yeah.
If whatever they're doing now would change how that works, that's a bad change.
For the foliage, it's actually a setting in the game. So you can tell it to either regenerate, and it does it at each time you like restart or resume a prospect.
Yeah,
So you can toggle it off, so it doesn't do it. I
yeah,
reckon the same will be for rocks as well.
yeah,
So you could choose for don't do it and have decreased performance, but you will still have all those little holes around and
yeah,
your stone sculpture outside your base and such.
yeah,
Or you say
yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah.
you know what, I want more performance, so just
Yeah,
regenerate them.
that's a fair point.
So the change we're looking to implement is to do with how mined rocks are loaded and unloaded. Now, as you traverse the map, you load different zones which then
Mm,
require all mined rocks within a relevant range to load in. As part of this loading process, not only do we load the objects, but we also load the state they were left in.
mm-hmm,
There's every pickaxe swing that was done on the object. And this takes additional time. Now, due to the fact that all of this loading, it could be in the thousands of instances, happens in one frame, it can cause hitches. It is causing hitches, we have seen this.
mm-hmm,
Now, this is mainly to do with the map being tile based, and when one map tile loads, the mined rocks are triggered to load in at the same time. This is especially bad at some points across the three different maps, and depending on where you are, you can
mm,
constantly be loading tiles and objects due to their relevancy range. If you build your base on the edge of two tiles,
mm.
you go to the one side of the base, it has to load in the tile on the one side. Then you go to the other side of the base, it has to load in the tiles on the other side. You go
Mm-hmm.
back and forth within your base, so it's constantly. Yeah, I can see how that is gonna cost a
Yeah, the
lot
only
of
thing there is
resources.
that yeah, the only thing there would be I would immediately think about is just that do you need to load everything in immediately, or could you just queue it for loading and then have like single
That is
stream or like two streams of loadings, because you can set it away for a little bit of a distance, and then depending on how quick your machine is running, it'll obviously just load it in without giving you the massive stuttering. It would sort of keep a couple of cores busy as it's loading and
well,
rendering
that's
it in.
actually
But
what
if you
they're
actually
gonna change.
Oh, interesting.
Because the change we're currently making involves placing all this logic of loading on a separate thread,
Yeah.
allowing these objects to load in the background
Yeah.
while you are playing, rather than in a single instance on the main game thread. So
Yeah, that makes
there's your
sense.
answer.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, one of the interesting things about splitting things out to be on separate threads is that you can't have the main thread or separate threads interacting with the same object simultaneously,
Yeah, it's single thread. It's just
because
separate. Yeah.
otherwise data becomes corrupted and can be forced into bad states. So that's
Um,
something they have to work on. If the loading of the rock
Yeah. No,
is
no, no. I
in
see
a
what you mean.
separate
Yeah, no, no.
thread and it's still waiting to do the actual loading of the rock whilst you already start hitting it with your pickaxe,
Yeah.
uh, yeah,
No, no, no. That's the
that's
thing.
not
No,
gonna
no.
end
That's
well.
no, but like I said, the consequence of that, obviously, to do it on a separate thread, is that you will have, like, for example, that object popping if your machine isn't quick enough, and depending how many objects there is to load and what the distances you set, because theoretically you would want to load the stuff in well before you're in a reasonable freaking distance to freaking throw an axe at the thing.
Yeah.
So it's like
It is
it's I
actually
would say it's
in the
coupled to like
graphic
a rendering
settings.
distance.
In the graphic settings, there is an
Yeah,
option for the distance where it has to load in stuff already, visually loading in.
yeah, that's sort of yeah, exactly, because that's sort of what I'm
So
referring
on
to.
a slower machine,
Because
you lower that setting. On a faster
yeah,
machine, you up that setting so it looks better.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, we'll see. We'll see. Apparently, I'm just repeating the same thing they're about to say.
Now we have had
So
some decent success so far with our internal testing, and this work seems to have made some strong progress in reducing hitching. We are still in the testing phase though, and we will roll this out if and when we believe it's in a stable enough state. Again, if they fix the possibility of like the thing still loading
the
in a separate thread whilst you're already interacting with it in the main thread, as soon as they
yeah
as long as they haven't fixed that, yeah, you can't really roll this out, obviously.
well, the big thing there is that look, the reality is that for example, when we're moving, the largest points of notice of hitching is when you're moving through zones and the large loads take place. Now, we don't do that to go hit a rock. No, we don't. We go there to move from point A to point B to go kill or go move or go fetch or, go whatever.
Yeah,
We're
but
usually past the point of mining stone. So to worry about such a thing, and realistically, you could do like a priority type of object where you could be loading things within a direct scope or view or where an angle of your character is moving. You could also use proximity towards other objects, such as you've got a freaking
true, true.
cave entrance. You've got all of these like pinpoints you could define as like markers, and then like increase priorities based upon that, because you would rather hit the stone that's right in front of your face
True,
than
true.
hit the stone that's behind a ledge,
But,
around a corner, under a ditch, behind a river. So I'm
but
just saying,
I
there's
assume
definitely
there's
lots of
smart
things that can
enough
take into
people
consideration.
there that they have thought about
Yeah,
this. But
exactly.
it would
Yeah,
be
definitely.
nice if you at least choice based at your own convenience can like regenerate all the rocks at some point throughout the entire map.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm still on, like I said, I'm still,
Because you know
I'm still,
you're running around, traveling the map, doing some quests, some operations, something. You're like, oh shit, I need like 5 stone. I'm gonna hit this rock a couple of times. That
yeah,
means
yeah, I know what you
the
mean.
next time that map tile with that rock is
It
loaded
has to
in, it
load
has
it.
to
Yeah.
exactly every single time
Mm, mm.
throughout the entire map.
No,
And the longer you play on an
yeah,
open world,
the more
the more it
objects affected.
accumulates.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be
I'm
very
wondering.
nice
No, no. Oh
if
yeah, oh
they
yeah.
yeah.
No, that's a good question, because I remember now. Remember when you have your cornfields, right?
Mhm.
And the corn on the ground you pick up first, because we were like,
Mhm.
we were pretty sure that you could pick it up continuously.
That
But
is
I
correct.
swear the last time I loaded in, that I went back to that crop field, which was across from the mission map which we're on, where just towards the cave entrance on the right in the upper plateau. You should go back there and see if there's corn on the ground again, because last time I went there was none. So I'm not
Well,
sure if,
I've set my game
because I'm not,
to
the point of this
regenerate
statement.
foliage, so
Well, that's the thing.
it is
It might
regenerate
have.
like
Okay.
put
But
back
when was that
to
added?
Last week actually.
Okay, because that was one of the things that could have added, like, because if
Oh,
the objects even on the ground, like a freaking piece of corn, is determined as an entity that has to load or not load in, that
those
is
I
insane. That is
those I do not
crazy.
know.
It
Like
is,
the
it's,
the little sticks and
yeah,
stones on the ground.
yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
so either, because they
yeah.
like regenerate during a storm.
Well, like I said, not the freaking corn. The corn I swear wasn't. So that's
But
the thing.
not,
I
but also
can
like
swear.
all the bushes, all the small trees you have picked up,
Mhm.
all the veggies you've harvested in the wild. Those are
I
all
can't remember. I
changes
mean, yet
that
again,
have to be
yeah,
loaded in all the time.
yeah.
So
This is why
the
I
foliage
don't clear
regeneration
forests.
last week was already a big
Yeah, yeah.
thing.
But that's one of the reasons why I never really kind of mess around too much of the nature around my bases. But if you can imagine that you just clear everything out the way, then yes, when you get close to your base, you could just imagine it has to freaking
It becomes
calculate
laggy,
everything.
yeah.
And yeah, definitely. But anyway, that's pretty much good. Good that they're deciding to improve it because it definitely is off-putting playing a game and then having your frame times drop beyond the floor and just
Yep,
completely lag yourself into oblivion.
I know.
So that's definitely
I know.
very immersion breaking and definitely not a good thing because it's also, yeah. But anyway, good that they're trying to fix it.
Next
Why are
week, yeah.
pugs a
Next
thing?
week, pugs and
Why?
Leica. A pug
Why?
is a dog.
Yeah, but why?
So
There's
you get
so
you
many
get
other
more.
useful dogs,
I don't know, just for fun.
like an actual dog, like a Labrador, like a
So look at
freaking
the Icarus
shepherd.
pets bundle image. You see the shepherd,
Yeah, yeah,
pet
yeah. That's
companion.
a German
Sorry.
shepherd. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see him, yeah.
So if you hover
But I
over
mean, you've
the
got.
the in the pets bundle, you hover over the middle one, the pet companion. You can see the images of the dogs and cats that are in the
Oh yeah,
pet
I see it.
companion
Yeah,
packs.
I see it. There was a golden retriever. Think that's German Shepherd, and I think that that one's interesting. That could be a what is that? No idea. But yeah, it's just a pug. Why? Oh
Because
yeah, I would like to see a pug try and fight with what you call it, a
bear
duck,
or drug.
a bear,
Yeah.
just anything, a rabbit. That's a freaking pug, my guy. It's freaking
Mm,
useless.
a rabbit is gonna stomp the pug to death, but okay.
A freaking rabbit would kick its ass. A
Yeah.
freaking pug is useless. But okay, let's see what they want to do with the pug.
So next week we plan on adding two new pets. One to the base game, so free for everyone, is a free pet,
Oh wow,
and one to the
nice.
pet companions pack DLC. The base game will be getting Laika the dog, in
Oh,
celebration of the heroic Pooch who was the first four-legged adventurer into space.
that's nice. Yeah.
Now, I thought this one was included in the Pet Companions pack already. So maybe it's moved from Pet Companions to free base game and we get a replacement in the Pet Companions pack. Because Pet Companions pack will be getting a pug as a new breed you can bring down from the space station. Now, a pug isn't a really big dog, right?
A pug is a useless thing that has one of the most mutated skulls out of all animals actually on planet Earth. And is I feel so sorry. It is the most tragic existence of a canine. It's even worse than a Chihuahua. I feel the the animal can't even breathe properly because of the deformities. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
very I mean, people love their pugs because they're derpy, but it's not a dog.
Cuddly
It's
factor.
it's not cuddly. It's if you should have seen a pug. You just Google a pug's skull. I know it's an interesting thing to say, but it's just you would never imagine that that skull belongs to a pug. It's just it's a
But,
very weird creature, and it
yeah.
has no function. It has no purpose. It probably is, it acts as a normal small dog, like a like a Yorkie Terrier or anything like that, which is it's a yapper. So anything that's getting close, like a leaf blowing outside your door, it'll start barking incessantly because it heard something. That's what they're useful for. That's the only function that they have.
But my
Make
question, a
noise
pug
because
is a small dog, right?
yeah, it's probably
Yet, at
uh
the start of the patch notes, they said you're gonna need a bigger dog bed.
oh.
We're gonna get some massive size pug?
Uh, okay, so actually now that you think about it, if you take a look at the Drac,
Mm-hmm.
the weird nose shape
Mm-hmm.
that the Drac has, it is reminiscent of a pug actually a little bit now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you Google images of a Drac and images of a pug, uh, maybe I could see it sort of.
But
Uh,
yeah, it's interesting that we get a pug, which is
no, but a
supposed to be
pug
a
is a tiny
small
dog.
dog.
It's a small dog, yeah.
But it did say here at the start of the patch notes, you're going
Oh
to need
yeah.
a bigger dog bed.
Yeah, because they said they would also mention something over here, but that might be yeah, and Leica is going to be the first pet, so it's not considered like a ginormous dog. So it's the pug is yeah, no.
Yeah.
Now here's the other thing: a pug as a DLC sort of exclusive isn't something that I would be stoked about. If it was like a bull mastiff, yeah, fucking awesome. If it was like a
Well,
freaking
it is part of the pet companions. You also get
yeah,
the
yeah,
cats in the pet companions.
yeah, I know, I
Again,
know,
they're
I
not
know, I
really
know, I know.
that useful, but they're
I
they're funny
know.
to have
No, but that's
around.
what I'm just referring to. It's like a pug as the big nice as the nice thing to have in the paid for content versus any other dog that's actually like a dog. Like I said, a bull mastiff, a husky, a Siberian husky. It could be a Malinois. It could be a freaking Rottweiler. It could be
Danish dog.
yeah, it could be a Greyhound. It could be a Great Dane. It could have been anything else, which was a nice breed dog. Like I said, a Newfoundland or anything, or the one that I would actually think would be the best is like a Maremma. So the actual herding dogs, which are beautiful, white, fluffy, very guard dogs. So they're intended to be outside. So they would kick a wolf's ass like hard. They
Mm-hmm.
actually hunt down like they give them spiked collars, and then they go take on freaking many predators. So those are some serious dogs. But a pug, yeah, I just don't. I just that's my 2 cents. I don't think that was a, a, a
Uh,
nice thing.
like I said, the pet companions is like Icarus is not pay to win.
No,
From
I
the
know. No,
DLCs,
no,
you
no.
don't get like overpowered stuff.
Yeah, I
Uh,
know. It's not like I said. It's not about the
it,
pay to
it's
win
it's it's
factor.
just
It's just
something extra you get
yes.
in exchange for
I know.
supporting the
Yeah,
company.
of course. And it's
So
good. And
yeah,
yet
sure,
again,
why
it's
not a
probably
pug?
exactly. It is a breed. It's a known breed, and eventually they'll definitely be adding more breeds in there. Don't get me wrong. And yet again, each person has his or her own favorite and preferred type of dogs, because some people
Mm.
actually do get Chihuahuas and do get Yorkie Terriers, which are actually adorable, and actually get these small you know handbag dogs. Um, so that's good. That's fine. That's in there, and it's additional content, which is very nice. But how useful is that thing going to be? No.
It's fun
It
to
would be
have
entertaining though.
around.
It would be very
Exactly.
entertaining watching a pug attack something. I think that would be hilarious, to be honest. I think that would be a really, really funny thing. Yeah,
Yeah, but the
that would
whole
be
pet
quite fun.
companions, it's more fun than useful. I
No,
mean,
no, of
sure,
course.
you can have your dogs guard your base, but you can also tame wolves who will do the same. So,
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. I know what you mean, but it's just like they might have. I know that, for example, in Minecraft, creepers are afraid of cats. So perhaps, having, you know, maybe the pug, which I mean, it wouldn't be
Mm,
pay to win, but it'd be quite hilarious
I,
if
I don't I
if
don't think those things will be locked behind a paid DLC. That's not
yeah,
how these guys operate.
Icarus does stuff. Yeah, I know. I'm not too bothered by that particular thing because it's not like it'll just be hilarious if you had like a little pug following you and bears would go running for the hills.
Well,
It'd
on
be
my
hilarious.
solo
Uh,
open world, at some point I had a pig,
that'd be
tame
funny.
pig, being attacked by 4 drugs.
Oh yeah?
Pig didn't care. He killed the drugs and he just walked
Oh,
away
that's
like, okay.
cool. Well, that's hilarious.
So
Oh,
get
well, yeah, dude,
yourself
dude.
like a dozen wolves and then you go hunting for bears.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool. And yet again, dude, some boars, yeah, dude, you don't mess with those things.
Nope.
They're pretty those tusks of them can, do some serious damage.
Yep.
So,
So yeah, the tames are definitely worth it.
yeah, yeah.
So
But that's it. Oh
it's
no,
a
we got to
very
go through
nice
the
addition.
still have to go
So
through the new content
your
and
support makes these updates possible, and then we have the pets bundle, like the creature comfort pack for like fancy water troughs, food troughs, fancy saddles and stuff. The pet companions, like I said before, the cats and dogs, and the zebra rescue mission. By the way, it did not
yeah.
unlock taming of zebras. This mission you had to, there were like 5 zebras which you could rescue, and once you rescued them, they were yours. And you can send them up to space and can bring them down somewhere else. So if you do this mission, you can get up to 5
So
tamed
they're mission
zebras.
specific, yeah.
Mission specific.
Yeah,
Only
okay.
during this mission you can
Yeah.
get zebras to
Yeah,
tame.
you can take my okay.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
you get tamed zebras. You don't tame them. They are already
Yeah,
domesticated,
yeah.
but you have to
Oh, you
rescue them.
get them. Okay.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So it doesn't
Okay.
unlock zebra taming. No, it unlocks tamed
Hmm.
zebras. Up to 5 per mission.
Actually, I should just thought about it. The reason why I would also maybe consider them adding like a pug into the paid DLC is because it isn't that amazing breed which would sort of want people to spend the money because it doesn't force people because it's not like how would you put it? If you really like something and then that is behind a paywall, that is obviously a worse thing than just
Yeah,
giving something. So yeah,
exactly.
that's
And
also
how
cool.
Rocketworks operates
Yeah.
is like you get the good stuff for free, you get the extra nice to have stuff if you pay for it.
Yeah, no, Metro's fair.
Yeah.
Because if, for example, if, for example, I love German Shepherds and that's the best breed and I'm crazy, that's the best dog to ever have.
So
And yet again, it's only via the DLC, which it might be the case. It's okay, but
yeah,
then if that
it
list
is.
expands and
But
expands and expands, no, it's yeah,
I can get one in the workshop, call it down, and you can claim it. So
yeah, yeah,
even though you do not have the DLC, you can still get a dog
mm,
if someone else with DLC gets it for you, and
yeah,
you claim it like with all other times.
yeah, yeah. No. But we've
And
tested
that's
this
what I
extensively,
like
but
about Rocketworks. They don't
yeah,
lock everything behind a paywall. They like
yeah, yeah,
you like
no, that's
it,
correct.
then we would appreciate it if you want to buy it. If you don't want to buy it, still fine. You can still use it as long as
Yeah,
someone else in your group has actually paid for it,
yeah, and again,
bought it.
it's
So
pretty much yeah.
there's a pets bundle and then the completer set. Like if you like want to make your your set complete, the pets bundle is a static bundle. Uh, you buy the entire bundle at once. You cannot buy the separate parts like you buy it as bundle. I mean, you can buy the one part, but then you can't buy the bundle no more. So if you only get the creature comforts pack, you can still get the pet companions, but I don't think you can get the zebra rescue mission no more. So it's a static bundle.
Uh,
The completer set,
that's
however,
interesting
is a
because if you could
dynamic
buy,
bundle. Yeah, yeah.
no, I'm just saying that it's if you could buy one on its own, you should be able to buy the rest as well.
Yeah, but the zebra rescue mission has a cost of 0. So
Yeah, that is
say
fine.
15 euros for the creature comforts pack, 15 for the pet companions pack. Get the whole bundle. You get them both, and you get the zebra rescue mission for free added to it. Plus you have the 20% off currently for the bundle price.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
don't think you can add the zebra rescue mission separately to your card.
Maybe it should be like if you bought the Creatures Comfort packs like this month and then you bought the Pet Companion pack the following month, that it would then automatically then unlock the rescue mission for the zebra for you. But if it was specifically only related to the bundle, forcing you to
No.
buy both and pay more,
And pay less actually if you
then
buy the bundle.
yes, but I'm referring to, but if you just bought them separately by, oh, I have an allowance and my allowance is only
So,
10
so they're
euros a month because
basically giving you an opportunity to save, to learn the joy of saving up for something and then getting more for less.
yeah, that's true. Or like I said, probably what would probably happen is if you have both the packs, you could probably just buy the bundle for $0 and that adds into the zebra. I'm assuming it might be the case.
As far as I know, you can't get the Zebra Rescue mission separate. It's only available in the bundle. And the bundle is a static bundle and
Mm,
not a dynamic one.
interesting.
The complete set bundle, however, is a dynamic one. You
Hmm.
can get everything in one go. And if you like add it to your cart, it removes the items you already have: base game, Styx DLC, New Frontiers DLC, the Outpost DLC. Like every DLC you already have, it removes it from the bundle dynamically.
I would just be extremely surprised if you bought one of the, objects of the pets bundle that you would need to rebuy it again in order to
I'm
get
not
the zebra
I'm
mission.
not
That
sure
is
if
just
you have bought one of the packs already separate. I'm not sure you can then still buy the bundle.
that's the thing. I would be so flabbergasted if they actually remove the possibility of buying content.
Uh,
If you did give
you
them money, it
could
just doesn't make sense at all.
you could
None.
test it out by the pet companions pack, and then the day after try to buy the bundle. See what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah. I could do something like that as a test. Yeah. I mean, you've already bought the bundle, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do a test
yeah.
of that
I
eventually.
had it pre-ordered already, so I was
Yeah, no,
like, as
I'll
soon
do
as
the
it comes
test.
out, I want it.
Uh, if that is the case, it would be very bad, or that's probably like a bug or something that hasn't been catered for yet. Because
Or
you know,
deliberate, like
to force people to buy a bundle,
not
or like I said,
force, but to give people
it's
incentive to buy the entire bundle.
because currently it's basically if I don't do what they want me to do by spending more money, I will not be able to have content ever in the future.
You buy more and you get less
No, no,
because
no,
you
no.
don't get
Like I
the
said,
bundle discounts. So you pay more, but you get less because you can't get the Zebra Rescue mission.
but that's the thing. I cannot get the zebra rescue mission if I buy one of the things
Mm-hmm.
that they
So
sell
true,
separately as an option.
true. So
So
you
that
you
is,
pay more and you get less.
no, no, no. I don't get it at all, is what you're saying.
Hence you get less.
Yes, which means there is content that I cannot get if I've
True,
given them money,
true.
which doesn't make any sense. That is not something that should ever happen. I'm pretty sure if Moshbo
I
was
don't
still
know.
in the chat or somebody that works for them, he would guarantee it that that is impossible. Because if that is the case, that is rather bad. I wouldn't say it's a bad. I mean, nobody would realistically look into it, but I would just say if the common sense thing to do is I would pay full price for the creature comfort, I'll pay full price for the pet's companions, and once I have both of those, it would automatically just credit the rescue mission as part of it to the thing because it's viewed as a bundle. unless, like I said, unless it is a separate thing, which is like €2 or something. I have no idea. But even then, if it's not, and the thing is, I don't know if I would
Like
be
I
able
said,
to
I
buy the
don't know
bundle.
for sure. I got a bundle, but
Yeah.
I've read something to that extent somewhere at some point. But it
Interesting.
has been a
Okay.
while.
No, but
Anyway,
anyway, let's get to the chain plug.
so new content. The pseudo saddle for the farmer carts. Pseudo saddle for the player to ride on. Remove the stat that stops players from riding the mount while farming cart is active. Yep,
Stats.
they removed that,
Okay.
so
Oh, so
it's
that's
basically
allowing
isn't
you
no,
to do it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
tied to the next one, remove the useless stat is saddle cargo only from item statics, as was only being utilized in equipable DT. So yeah, yes, you have a saddle, but you can only put cargo in. Actually, that is the same still, I reckon, for the bovine pack saddle.
Yeah.
If you put
For
it
the
on
extra
your
slots.
buffalo, it has extra slots, but you can't ride it no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Added crop plots snapping to dirt frames. Dirt is a new building material introduced, I believe, last week. No, 2 weeks ago. You can build foundations and ramps, but you cannot stack them. They have to be in contact with the ground, otherwise they like break immediately. And apparently those foundations you couldn't snap crop plots on. They have added it now. It's a nice way. So if you have your base slightly elevated based on foundations, you can now put dirt ramps against it. So you have like the dirt sloping up to the walls of your base. You no longer have like the foundation and then the wall sticking out slightly. You don't see that no more. So it's nice, those dirt ramps.
Oh, okay.
Adding correct card data table entries to the new cards added. Thank you. So they work proper. Hey, added ability to ride on the basic card as well. Cool. So the basic card, the hauling card, you can actually now also ride the buffalo.
Which probably makes
Nice.
sense, but realistically, the buffalo isn't very fast. So when there's a bear
Except,
running,
except when you level up and spend talent points in the buffalo's talent for speed and stamina.
you probably will not be able to outrun a wolf.
I don't know. I do know that I've won buffalo, I believe, which I like added all the talent points in the speed talent already, and it's
Uh-huh.
reasonably fast now. It's definitely faster than before the talent, the mount talents. That's for sure.
You're probably going to notice the speed much better on a because it's is it a flat or percentage based?
Percentage based.
Okay. I mean, still, I mean, we saw what the difference was on the mower when you had um, the modules in.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. Like imagine Moa fully talented out for speed and stamina regen,
no, you're
and
gonna
have the
glitch through
proper
stuff, dude.
have the
We're
proper foods and use like 4 of those pheromone modules.
my
You can
guy,
you can be flying.
we were already. I lost my mower because I glitched off your freaking ramp on the top of your base. So no,
Yep.
it's.
Uh,
I
there
wouldn't
is a
want to have the mower
there
more
is
speed.
a talent for taking reduced fall damage. We can put 3 or 4 talent points in, and I believe it's like up to 50% damage reduction, fall damage
Technically,
reduction.
the mower has like an
That would have
ostrich, a
saved
little
your
bit of.
Moa.
Well, technically, yeah. Well, technically, the mower has wings as like an ostrich probably has.
Hmm.
So technically, it could flat, but quite vigorously whilst you're riding, just to kind of hit the ground a little bit less
Exactly.
dead. But yeah,
So yeah, that
that's
would have
okay.
saved your Moa.
But
I mean,
but
it
that would have been
survived that first fall, but the second
yeah.
fall actually killed it. Yeah.
But that would have been quite cool for like unique ultimate talents. Like after reaching max level, it would unlock
Well,
its special ability, which could be like it will flap its wings twice so you don't
the talent
die.
point, like I don't know whether or not you have seen images from the animal
Nope.
talent
I think I
trees.
remember ages ago. Ages ago.
Uh, it starts in the middle and then you work your way out different directions. And
Mm.
this one talent for full damage reduction is at the end of one of the branches.
Yeah, it would make sense.
So
It's
you
just,
can't go for it straight away.
no,
You'll
no, of
have to
course,
spend
it's fine.
talent points
Yeah,
in other
yeah,
talents before. But yeah.
yeah. Which makes sense. But yeah, it's like more like a, the moa has this flapping ability so that it can sort of jump a little bit higher and slower fall. The buffalo would have like like the burst charge, like it's freaking doing like a bull, and it's just gonna plow into something and do a lot of damage. And the horse has a burst speed where it just goes for very quick for a limited amount, or like burns through stamina very quick. I've got a
Man,
million ideas that you could have for the special, you
as
know,
soon as you have
ability.
your gaming rig up and running again, we definitely have to do some gameplay again so you can actually have a look at all the talent trees.
Oh yeah, true.
You're gonna be pretty happy, I reckon.
Yeah, I'll take a look, like I said, eventually.
Yeah. Anyway, continue to patch
Fix.
notes. Added the basic saddle cost to the cost
Oh,
of each card. Kind of makes sense, cause you make the
yeah.
card and slash saddle, you can ride it, so yeah. Fixes. Quite a few. Fixed stone, salt and limestone noxious crust description mentioning incorrect materials. Limestone is a not yet implemented material, by the way. I believe at some point Patchnotes said something about it being in the next big DLC. Fixed carved wood bed weighing only 1 kilo instead of 10 kilo like the other beds, so make it in line with the others. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Updated some item descriptions and hints for clarity. Thank you. I
Mm-hmm.
would have loved some more hints for clarity of this bullet point, but hey. Right. Added bestiary text for Dribbo. Snuffles is the name. Dribbo is the animal.
Species. Yeah.
Added Arctic Moa bestiary text. Yes, we
Ooh, I
have
like
now
that
Arctic
idea.
Moas as well. We have them
Ooh, I
already.
like that. Ooh, that's pretty cool. I haven't seen those
They're
yet.
white and more
Mm-hmm.
fluffy than normal Moas,
Ooh, I like
and
fluffy.
they have specific talents for Arctic.
Nice. I definitely would like to see one of those because I do like Fluffy.
Yeah,
So if he's also like Snow White, that's actually very freaking cool.
it is.
Oh, nice, nice.
Fix a few typos and change some item names for consistency. I like consistency. Added Arctic Moa bestiary image to the project. Yeah, text and image, good. Translatable string entries added for relocated quest steps, especially nice for people who play in a non-English language. Fixed involved in quest modifier used on quest creatures not showing involved in quest stat text. I reckon something like Daisy, which is like a quest animal, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe the zebras in the zebra rescue mission. Adding like a dog bark vocalization, data table set up an event, so in preparation for next week's adding Leica to
Mm-hmm.
base game. Adding small dog drinking animation and eating animation duplicates for
Bug.
montages. Bug indeed. Once again, Arctic Moa bestiary stats and enabled the bestiary entry. Good. Type of fixed in sport planes description. Modifier times and tooltips updated to show minutes if over 120 seconds. Talked about that one before. Updated modifier to just show provides instead of 1 second duration. For modifiers specifically applied for a single second, like applying the bandage and the suture kit and the splint. Because they don't have an overtime duration. It's like the 1 second, like the fix the wound, fix the deep wound, heal your broken leg, those kind of things. Update building RFT blocking to only dynamically spawn if intersecting with ground. This has to do with the grass culling. Delayed check for RFT spawning to ensure stability calculation has been initialized. Checks an additional time after a longer delay once. Okay. Fix unsaved interactable DT that changed the fill from nearby deployables button to hold X instead of tap F, as we now use F for riding the mount. This could be the
There's a toggling off driving
the water cart. Could be water containers, as in a canteen. Because right now you use the one button to fill it up at a rain collector, your canteen, and then another button to fill your trough. Where before it was the same button. But since we are talking about for riding the mount, I reckon this is for filling the water cart. Okay, you just have to get used to holding X then. No problem. Removed fur culling mask on the Tusker mount when you remove the cart from the Tusker. Yep, Tusker is gonna be very happy that when you remove the cart, it is showing the fur again. Otherwise, it's gonna look a little weird.
Pretty much.
Ironclad mission added translatable estimated time string. Again, very nice for people who play on non-English. Advanced order mission, update the quest tab to reference health recovery tonic's new name instead of the health enhancement tonic. Yeah, and they changed the names, they added the elixirs, changed the names.
And then it's like, what am I supposed to fetch? I have no idea. That it doesn't match the thing, but is this the thing?
Exactly. So now the quest actually uses the new name.
Yeah.
Removed ability to jump while riding mounts that have cart attached. Talked about that one before. Hide units consumed from UI. This confuses players without tweaking the UI more. Yeah. More translatable strings added to wind turbine in-world tooltip and the salting station close button. Again, especially for non-English playing. Fixed sticks going to hotbar instead of a backpack. Talked about it. Error in the description of the ceiling light has been fixed. And the next one is a nice one. Added the ability to consume meds directly from the medicine pouch. Before you had to drag it back to your inventory, and from there you could use it. Now you can use it directly from the medicine pouch, medical satchel.
Makes more usable.
Also, I read something in this. I haven't checked it because I haven't played yet today, but I read something in Discord about using the match from the medicine pouch is instantly. So no longer like if you apply a bandage, no longer the 2 or 3 seconds like duration to actually apply the bandage, is like instantly. Which is nice if you wanna consume a health tonic in the middle of a fight. On the other hand, you still have to like open your inventory, then right mouse button on the medical pouch, open, and then from there, so it takes more time to go to the medical pouch to actually consume the item. So it's nice that it's being offset by like the instantly consumed of the item. Fixed seed bar, seed cracker, honeycomb bar, and seed bread status effects not being affected by the vegetarian talent. I hadn't noticed, but then again I have the carnivore talent.
Carnivore one.
Yeah, not the vegetarian talent.
Yeah, we don't eat vegetables.
Exactly. If it's green, it's no good. Added stomach slot information to player inventory. Not sure what they mean with this one though.
Where was it?
is this the extended stats list maybe?
Could be. Yeah, because it's obviously the perk for the extra slot. Yeah. You have like 4 slots or 5 slots or 3 slots.
3 slots by default. You have a talent for the 4th, and you have an armor attachment for an extra 1, so you can go up to 5.
Probably something like that, yeah. So because rather than eat in order to see how much you have, you can just look at the stat slots.
I reckon it's in the extended player stats.
That probably is, yeah. Makes sense.
Replace modifiers base stamina consumed stats with base stamina action cost. This fixes water modifiers reducing stamina consumption by more than the intended amount. And now we're talking about filtered and especially purified water. So now the stamina consumption is being calculated correctly. Good. Hide the sort from bag UI, medicine satchel, seed pouch. So these are all specific items, so you don't really need sorting. That is correct. They can't hold very many different items anyway, so. Adjusting taming temperatures. So creatures found in the Arctic are easier to tame in cooler environments, and creatures found in warmer environments can be tamed in higher temperatures. There was no difference between these initially. Now there are talents in the husbandry talent tree, which, for example, makes you the taming for Arctic animals in warmer environments easier / faster. So those talents became more interesting now.
Yeah.
So you have an Arctic mower, you bring it back to your base in a volcanic, it doesn't proper time. Then husbandry talent should now be more usable. Good, good. Updates to specialized settings for the seed plow and limiting amount of sow sounds that can be played at once with cooldown to avoid it playing 3 or 4 at a time. Especially when you have a fast buffalo. Yeah. Adjusting volume of the user interface of interacting with the plow. Good, good. Oh, reduce speed of horses and Tyrannus. By the way, horse is also introduced with Laika. It's like the proper horse mount. 2 or 3 different types. Horses and Tyrannus speed have been reduced mainly through reduction of the talents. Both do have movement speed increasing talents that reduce the sprint speed. But these are currently not reducing the sprint speed yet. Will be readdressed when that bug is fixed. Movement speed, I've seen that one. Higher base movement speed, but it reduces the sprint speed. And I'm like, I usually sprint on my animals, so I don't go for that talent. So I could have done it for now, because apparently there is a bug that it does not reduce the sprint speed, so increases the base movement speed, does not reduce the sprint speed, but it is a known bug and will be worked on.
It'll be pretty interesting to see in a long sprint which one would come out on top.
With my Moa, with the talents, all the talents I have, and the proper animal food, and 4 of the pheromone modules. In all my main open world, you know the. Do you remember the bugged exotics tree in Lima 1?
Yep.
From the tunnel to the Lima 1 tree, I could go in one continuous sprint.
That's a long ass sprint.
Yes. And there is a talent for an extra stomach slot for the MOA. Which will enable me to add another food buff.
Wow.
which, if I choose the correct one, will increase like stamina or sprint speed or something like that even more.
Mm.
So yes, my MOA, fully talented,
Pretty impressive.
the correct foods, the correct modules, man, you no way you're gonna outrun the MOA no more. A very slight speed reduction for the MOA movement speed. Ah.
One nerf. Oh.
Luckily, I have talent points in increased speed, so. Fix card saddle audio parameters failing to update if the player has dismounted from the saddle, potentially causing the card audio to not play or to play indefinitely, especially the last one. Gonna be annoying, so I'm glad they fixed that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're riding the mount, you can toggle the cards on and off. Nice. Edit focused item info for the toggle button. Good. Lots of updates and improvements to the card. Better specialization, adjusting pitch speed based on velocity of the cards. Yep. Reduction in volume to some layers and reduction in sound size for better riding experience. So basically immersion improvements. Updated bonus mining rewards description, notably on egg-based foods, to specifically mention the bonus is stone. When reading this, I became happy. Hey, bonus mining, notably on egg-based foods, so I need to do more egg-based foods then. I have to look into those. But oh wait, it's only for stone. Okay, never mind. You know me, I like my mining. But yeah, it is going to become clearer now in the description that is only for stone. Okay. Fix honeymeat stat order. So we basically have to redo the whole. Actually, was it the honeymeat? Who was which had the like food buffs have longer duration?
Yep, it was.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe with like the order in which you consume the foods, and you can maybe get the food buffs to last like 6,000 seconds.
It was, yeah. We
I
did
mean,
manage to get it.
I mean, you're not gonna use that all the time because
Well,
at some
the
point the food will spoil before the
yes,
buff runs out, and then
it
yeah,
did
you don't
already.
need that long a food buff no more.
Because the point was obviously so that you would, because if it was like, oh, I don't need to consume it as often, but if you're literally losing a piece of food, you're losing more food that way.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's spoiled. Oh, and I still have to eat it in the next, 30 seconds, for example. So it's like, God,
I have
that's
to eat
bad.
it within 30 seconds, but my food buff is still active for another 500 seconds. Yeah,
No, no, it's like, oh, the food just spoiled, which means I lost the
yeah,
item, and I have to eat again in 30 seconds because
yeah.
my buff is
But
expiring in 30 seconds.
it
Because usually it's like,
it was nice to see like how
yeah,
long can you make the food buff last.
yeah, theoretically, yeah, yeah, that's right, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it was pretty interesting, but it was a very specific situation, and that was without the fifth slot though. So I still would like to see if I can get an armor set to get a fifth slot to see how much it can get up to. But yeah, that's fun.
Sure, I'll craft you such an armor once you're back to gaming again. Change toggling the harvested cards to be a binding rather than hard-coded to X. Good, good. Removed hard references to Tusker and Buffalo mounts, and instead added a saddle row in the saddles JSON for the pseudo saddle mesh. Added stats to slow down the mounts when card is active. Makes sense. Like especially the seeding card, if you have to plow, your mount has to work harder to get the card moving, so yeah, it should slow down. But yeah, I'm glad they made it a key binding and not a hard-coded X. I like it when you can choose your own keys to press. Fixed building piece, grass culling not working after recent changes. Yes, I have read this in the experimental branch channel. Again, like I said, they're working on the whole grass culling around building pieces to so changing how grass culling works and how it's calculated, and by doing so reducing the number of calculations to be done all the time, so for performance improvements. The building piece grass culling volume is now centered on the building mesh. It was previously offset for things like beams or half or quarter pieces. And that made it so foundations sometimes didn't properly cool the glass, and then you still had the grass growing in your base, stuff like that. Buffed the buffalo and tusker movement speed, but reduced the effect of the movement speed talent while the buffalo is pulling a cart. So they got a general speed increase, but the extra speed talent effect is reduced when it's pulling a cart now. Okay. I mean, if you're using one of those carts, especially the farming carts, you don't need the speed anyway. Reduce movement speed while creatures are pulling a cart, again, makes sense. Pack saddle capacity has been increased though, the bovine pack saddle. Not sure how much I can carry right now. But yeah. It is, well, the bovine pack saddle I believe had already two item slots for bulk items. 2 bulk item slots. And now if you go out for mining purple exotics, you are gonna need 2 of those slots, because you can put 2 extractors on. So you already had to do 1 in your mount and 1 on your own back. It did mean you couldn't go out for finding it, requiring a radar using the bulk slot, and harvest it. So if you have a mount with a saddle with 2 bulk slots and decent speed and stamina, that's going to be nice now for hunting purple exotics. Description for the cards are updated to no longer mention they're unrideable, because they are now rideable. Medical satchel description updated to communicate that it allows instant use of medicine inside, as I said before. Fixed tooltip showing 0 of 0 damage when items are not valid, such as blueprint sets. Okay. Let's see. Future content. Interesting mentions here. Future content, and do a couple of change lists. Okay, thank you. For the internal devs, added Unreal Engine 4 inside stats label for when tile boundary is crossed, tile loading. Especially useful now they're working on the whole loading in items, calculating items upon loading of the tile. This one is interesting. The next one. Stairs corner right and stairs corner left. So are we gonna get like sort of rotating stairs?
90-degree corners, yeah.
That would be nice to put stairs in order to put stairs in a corner.
A little bit of a tighter, yeah, which makes sense, like a Dutch stairway.
Yeah. Also, you can now put stairs in the corner of your base instead of like one out of the corner, in order to facilitate
Going
Like
up floor,
you
yeah,
come
okay.
up the stairs, you have to go straight floor and before going to the side. Now, if it's like a spiraling corner, they can put it back in the corner again, which will increase the effective effect use
Usability
of your
space, yeah.
base. Yeah,
Correct, yeah.
nice.
Mm.
Oh, the
I mean,
CHAC pistol is going to be clip instead of single bullet.
good, because the pistol is garbage.
Yep, not the most useful item indeed. But
Probably.
the planet crafted
I would
one
rather.
still would be a single shot, I reckon. But the workshop one is going to be a
I
clip.
would.
Yeah.
A thatch bow is better than that thing, dude. You know it.
Thatch bow with stone arrows, no.
I'll duel you any day. I'll duel you. I'll duel you if I'll fight you with the pistol. You have the pistol. I'll have a thatch bow, and we'll see who wins.
You need
I'm pretty sure.
to get like new characters, so you don't have any talents for bow or gun.
Yeah, we
But
can do
yeah,
that. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think they do more damage. The pistol does more damage than a stone arrow from a crude bow, especially if you don't crit.
Yeah, but your slow down whilst you're reloading. It reloads in a year.
Yeah.
The bullets are hard to come
Well,
by. It's a freaking gun,
the reload
and
of the pistol is okay. It's slow, but not that slow, because it's a single bullet. So it's
yeah,
basically you like shake open the barrel, you put a new bullet in, you close it, and you shoot again.
and then in
It's
the meantime, I've hit 2 arrows into you.
maybe two, but not more than two.
And you're
But
slow and easy to hit.
the
Yeah,
workshop item, the
yeah, I know
workshop
it's a clip
pistol, is
though.
going to be clipped, so it
Yeah, I know.
might be, but still, it's not going to be
I'm not
compared
saying the clip
by a
though.
hunter
I'm just
rifle.
saying the normal pistol.
True, true.
No, no, I know. I'm just saying that it's gone from absolute trash to it might be useful on certain occasions. Still the
Yeah,
worst, but it's going to be useful or
useful
usable.
while you're in a pinch. Yeah,
Usable. Let's say useful. Let's say usable. Let's just put it that way.
yeah.
There's a difference between the two.
True, true. Corner stairs. Boot, hunter helmet and chest. So we're gonna get a new hunter. No, hunter armor is actually planet side crafted. So we're gonna get new
Yeah,
mesh, new visuals. Okay.
I haven't played into those in ages.
No, me neither. I'm using the composite. On my
Yeah,
solo character, I actually kept on using leather until I could go for a composite, and I jumped from leather straight to composite. So yeah. Added half stairs. Test data table entries. Half stairs, by the way, are gonna be like you have the half ramps, left side or right side. They're also gonna have the left side and right side stairs now.
okay.
So you will be able to, if you want to build a tower with stairs, so not with ladders but with stairs, you can go with a 1x3 now instead of a 2x3. You can like spiral up in a 1x3, because you still need the flat floor on both sides, and then in the middle you have like the alternating left and right stairs now.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Added multiple Scoria building skin entries. We already have Scoria, right? Scoria brick. We're getting a new type of Scoria building skin. Interesting. Okay. Update collision on many Prometheus foliage to allow player overlap. Now, last week with the foliage respawn, they also said something about small trees will no longer. You can no longer get stuck on small trees. You will be able to like walk straight through them.
Oh,
I
I
tested it
don't
on
know. That's actually
Prometheus
taking a little
and
bit
it
of.
did not work.
Hmm?
I still got stuck on a
Okay.
small tree. So definitely on Prometheus they did not remove the hitbox. Maybe
Well,
it's
I mean, it's
Prometheus specific though. I haven't tested on
well,
one of the other maps.
again, it was just part of the charm. It actually had
True,
its laughs, so it
true.
was an irritation, but not something which was,
Uh,
needing of a drastic change.
and
It's just
you
a shame.
got used to like you're jumping through the forest and as soon as you start going down you already press the F key. So if there was a small tree in the way,
Yeah,
you pick it up before you hit it.
yeah.
True, true.
Because if you actually walk face first into a small sapling, it will slow you down
Yeah.
and sort of stop you. So yeah, makes sense.
Overflow bag capacity further increased for future proofing. Like I said, we were talking about it with Saber last week. You're like, yeah, maybe we should go like 80 or make them even 100. And why not 150 just for future proofing? And like, what will happen if I have like 70 pouches in my inventory, all with full with items? Answer, by the way, both the seed pouches and the medical satchels, they keep their inventory and they take only one slot in the overflow bag. So the items will not be like separate in the overflow bag, but they will still
Discarded,
be
yeah,
in
yeah.
the thing.
Mm,
So that's good, but still, hey, more is better.
mm.
There it is, internal cooling. Let's see. Oh, remove burnt and harvested trees as part of the fiber foliage respawn. Nice. So if you have that option enabled and there are still burnt trees outside,
Or burnt down forests. Yeah.
they will be properly removed. So they no longer stand there as a sign of like, here was a flash storm or here was a player a tad uncareful with fire and stuff.
Yes.
Now all we need is the respawning of the trees, and then we're set. Remove some history in voxels and some loops, so basically the whole all actions taken on a voxel are being stored and being calculated all the time. I reckon the next two are three actually are all connected to that 4. Fix issue with voxel thumper reinitialization after making initialization asynchronous. Ah, so the thumper didn't work anymore. Oops. Well,
Yep,
this
you
is
always break something by fixing something. So.
true. Too many interactions. Huh? But yeah, one of the reasons why the whole those whole changes to voxels aren't in this week's update yet. So
Patch. Yeah.
exactly. Well, this concluded the patch notes. Some interesting things there.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely
Don't really
gonna...
know still what the big
Yeah, the big?
dog bed is going to be for.
We'll have to wait till
Because it
next
surely
week.
isn't a pug.
We'll have to wait till next week.
Mm.
So... Yeah, basically the big thing this week is farming carts are rideable now. Cool.
Yep.
I'm definitely gonna test it out in subsequent gameplay.
Great. But I'm obviously going to head off to bed. So thank you for inviting me over.
Anytime. You're welcome to join anytime you want. You know that.
Yep, I know. But there's the unfortunate lack of equipment making it possible to join you, other than the discussion for the patch notes.
Also,
So,
the discussion page notes, feel free to join.
yeah.
Always
Yeah,
nice.
exactly.
So,
Yep.
but yeah, thanks,
Perfect.
thanks for being here. I'm glad you could make it. Otherwise, the discussion would be a tad one-sided. So,
Yep. I always add in my thoughts. So pretty much great. But thanks and enjoy the gameplay. Good luck testing it.
thank you. Will do.
And you
Well,
know, the actual thing to test again, as you mentioned, was definitely whether or not the system still interacts the same with you know, man-made mounds versus the cart-made ones. So with the seating stuff.
yeah, so they interact the same way with those now. Yeah.
Okay, so it's still the same item that's produced. So
Yeah.
to say, there's not like a different. All right,
The
but
same
otherwise,
item
have
that's
a good.
being produced if there is dirt in the seeding card.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Well, yeah, but it's both are registered as the same thing. Whether I
Yeah.
use yeah, perfect. All right. Anyway, have a good evening then, and until
Thank
the
you.
next one.
Okay, see you
Cheers.
around then. So yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break, give myself a quick smoke, grab myself a new soda, and I'll be back in say 8 minutes, so quarter past the hour. And we will do some gameplay, testing out the new stuff like the new farming cards, make sure we can indeed ride them proper. Uh, yeah, like this, basically the main item to test today. So thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed us going through the patch notes. We do this on a weekly basis. 21:30 British summertime every Friday night, unless otherwise specified. Uh, if you did enjoy it, a like would be appreciated. If you want to get notified next time I stream on Twitch, there's a follow button, or if you watch this on YouTube, there's the subscribe button. Don't forget to always also hit the notification button, because YouTube doesn't always show it if a new video has been uploaded. Other than that, thanks for being here, and I'll see you in a couple of minutes in the next stream with a subsequent gameplay.